Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Coach Tobias Forst, founder of Achilles Life Coaching, and today's topic is glorious victimhood mentality. We will go through 3 particular steps today. First, we will look at how a covert narcissist behaves and acts and what constitutes the traits of him or her. Second, there will be an analysis of parts of a song performed by Sting that details the experience, the behavior of a covert narcissist. And third, we will go through the topic of victim mentality and how it is glorified today. So let's get started. A vulnerable narcissist lives out 3 particular major emotions. These are depression, anxiety, and shame. There are few Among the narcissists, this is one of the most dangerous ones for the simple fact that their display of vulnerability, and it is often perceived as real for them, it elicits your empathy, you being a healthy person and feeling sorry for someone and trying to help and offer moral and emotional support to them, and you opening up to them emotionally also makes you susceptible to their follow-up, manipulation and gaslighting and all the other tools that they use to manipulate you. So there are 6 traits that I would like to go through with you that are particular to a covert narcissist. They are very charming, can be the center of attention if they choose to, but not in the way that a grandiose narcissist acts out like knows everything best, is the best at everything. Then there is the fact that they offer very few apologies. You will only hear apologies from a covert narcissist when they have something to gain from the fact that they now apologize to you. There is also, as the third point, the blame game. Everything is everybody else's fault all the time, and don't you dare criticize them. That brings me to the next point, criticism. They offer criticism very handily and try to devalue and invalidate you and your perception of your reality so that you do what they want you to do and that you don't do what they don't want you to do. Envy. They rarely show gratitude. But on the other hand, they think that other people are envious of them and their lifestyle, whichever that may be. But still, they hold a lot of jealousy, envious feelings toward everyone else apart from themselves. Negative emotion. Very particular to the covert narcissist, which they try to pass off on to others. Because if they can manage to make you feel bad to a certain point where you're really mellow and close to being or feeling depressive, they have a reason to feel better themselves. And that opens you up with your lowered self-esteem to be manipulated again on through a different angle. This constitutes the covert narcissist. To recap, it's about being charming, few apologies, the blame game, criticism, envy, and negative emotion. Part 2. There was a series on Netflix called Arcane. It's an animation series. There will be spoilers ahead. If you wish to save you the spoilers, then I suggest you click off now. It was one of the best for me personally of last year. It was amazingly done, very well written characters, and it is about 2 sisters, one named Jinx and her older sister named Vi, and Jinx, the younger sister, is a covert narcissist. At the end of the series, in the last episode, there is a song performed by none other than Sting, and the song is called What Could Have Been, and it is basically the display of how Jinx feels about the covert narcissist female. Jinx feels about her sister, Vi. And it illustrates perfectly the victimhood mentality that she feels, and in the pinned comment below you find the link to the song. I encourage you now to click the link in the pinned comment below to listen to this great song, this piece of art by Sting, so that you get a feeling of how it starts and how it develops and how grand it makes those feelings, the power of illustrating those feelings of Jinx toward her sister Vi. And when you're back, we go through select parts of that song. So take your time, watch the music right now. As you're back right now, I assume, there are several parts of the song I would like to go with you and attribute the traits we just discussed in part 1 about the covert narcissist. I am the monster you created. Blame. You ripped out all my parts. Blame again. And worst of all, for me to live, I gotta kill the part of me that saw that I needed you more. Negative emotion. High in negative emotion here. That part that I needed you more. The covert narcissist telling the mentally healthy person, her sister, that I needed you more. This goes hand in hand with one of the videos I did a few days back. You are rich. This is what they want from you. They need you. They need your attention, your validation, your protection of their image, and your tolerance for their BS and everything else. They need you. You don't need them. You might just not yet have realized that. I hope you know we had everything. Blame game, criticism. And you broke me and left these pieces. Blame. I want you to hurt like you hurt me today. Negative emotion and envy, because apparently, according to how Jinx feels about her sister Vi, Vi doesn't feel hurt, at least not yet. But Jinx does. So if Jinx feels hurt, she, her sister, must also feel hurt. I want you to lose like I lose. I want you to lose like I lose when I play what could have been. Same as before, negative emotion, envy. And last but not least, about the song, why don't you love who I am? Again, the blame. Because if you fail, ladies and gentlemen, to love the covert narcissist who thinks themselves as being lovable, it's your fault again, in their view. A few other aspects for part 2 concerning the way that Jinx is being portrayed. And she's very accurately portrayed as a covert narcissist. She has very long hair, ridiculously long hair, even braided. Since the separation from her sister at an early childhood stage, she has apparently not been cutting off, literally not cutting off the past. While her sister Vi has a very, very short trimmed hair. Jinx has also a foster father named Silco. And this is one particular scene at the very end of the first season. Silco is about to die, and Jinx is basically responsible for his upcoming demise. And he's an immature mentor and foster father. He has a lot of problems that he's never taken care of, and then he has his covert narcissist foster daughter. And his last words to her are, "Don't cry, you're perfect." I recommend you don't try this at home with your covert narcissist, that you tell them you're perfect. Watch and see what happens. Apparently there's no reason for the covert narcissist to change because they're perfect, according to what, in that case, Silco, or maybe you did say. So this is also, the reason why I picked this is I saw many review videos on YouTube a few months ago when this series was quite fresh on Netflix. And I was just baffled about certain channels celebrating the "you are perfect" scene. It's fine to have an opinion piece on this. All good. no worries, all is well. But if the channel is hosted by a certified psychologist, or psychologists plural, one of those women even dressed up, cosplayed as one of the characters, and she celebrated, several psychologists celebrated that scene. What the actual F? Telling a covert narcissist, you are perfect. It should have been, what could have been was a more accurate assessment of who is who and how to communicate among one another. And certainly what not to say and what not to perceive toward the covert narcissist. Last but not least, number 3, victim mentality. Part 3, victim mentality is glorified today. You hear a lot of screams and shouts out there. I'm oppressed in this and patriarchy that, and you name it, you name it. We hear it all the time, everywhere. Everyone's a victim in some way. So this has become a very dangerous movement, in my opinion, because it opens every door for covert narcissists to manipulate you. Because if you're so much out there with all the victim mentality, you get the feeling that this is normal, and yeah, I can help here, I can contribute this, and I can do that. And not all of those people are honest. Not all of those people are suffering. Some of them are just complainers. So let's approach this from a different angle. Let's assume you're a great lawyer. Why? Because you put in the work. Let's assume you're great at tennis. Why? Because you put in the work. Let's assume you're one of the best team leaders in the company you're working for, because you understand how to distribute tasks to be most effective and efficient as a team, because you see the people that work for you. Why? Because you put in the work. Now here comes the victim queen and the victim king. And they sit on their self-made throne. Why? Not because they put in the work. There was no blood, toil, sweat and tears involved. It's just cheap talk when you hear the same victim babble over and over and over again. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to thee the covert narcissist. And we, with sufficient empathy, get captured and enraptured in that process. And we invite the manipulation toward us. So what I recommend to you, ladies and gentlemen, is pay attention. Yes, somebody in your vicinity might not feel great today. Fine, okay. Can you do something about it? Do they want you to help them in some way or another? Sure, go ahead. But if it's the same sob story every single time, then somebody is not being honest with you. And only because someone plays the victim in front of you and toward you, that doesn't mean they don't have a concealed manipulation dagger that is meant just for you. Thanks for watching. Be your own hero and be your own heroine. I'll see you next time.